All right, we're recording. Shh. So the first thing, you're going to find the sum of all the interior angles. There's one more type of question I'll write down the side for us. But find the sum of all the interior angles. Over here, I wrote the equation just to see it a little bit more clearly. Notice here, I did not make you memorize this formula. So 180, n minus 2 equals s. Remember, n minus 2 is supposed to represent how many triangles are in the shape, and you times it by 180 because each triangle is 180. So, hey, guys, I did ask you to stop talking. Talia, face forward. This is a practice test. Talia, this is a practice test for you so you do well on the test that's coming up. So please pay attention.
What's that again?
So this is a pentagon. We need to know the word. Pentagon means how many sides?
5.
Excellent. That's a 5-sided shape. So this is n equals 5. That means I just plug it into my equation. 180 times 5 minus 2 equals my answer. 5 minus 2. Yes. Number of sides, you usually say. So 5 minus 2 is 3. Then 3 times 180 is 540. So 540 degrees. If you forget the degree symbol, it's not the end of the world. But technically, you should put a degree symbol.
Could you zoom in a little bit?
I have to leave at 11.
What's up?
I have to go to 11.
Sure, when there's 11, just step out. It's okay. All right, 11 gone. Now, sides bigger than 10, we don't need to know the name for. So we just put like 11 gone, 12 gone, 15 gone.
Are you serious?
Something bigger than 11. Or bigger than 10. So here we have 11 gone. So 11 gone, and you guess how many sides that has? 11. So n in this case equals 11. Which means I'm going to do 180 times 11 minus 2. 180 times what number? Nothing sharpened, no. Mine's not sharpened. 9, good. 180 times 9.
Why times 9?
And then what's 180 times 9? 960, I think. 960?
No, it's 1,020. Yes.
Good. Times 10 would be 1,800. Then you subtract 180 from that. You could do it like that. Again, you have your calculator, so there's nothing wrong with using a calculator.
Why did you subtract 2 again? I forgot.
It's how many triangles are inside the shape.
I didn't know how many are in
It's how many sides you have minus 2. Yeah, minus 2.
No matter what, it's minus 2, no matter what triangle?
No matter what shape, it's minus 2. Yeah. So if it's, like, think of a triangle. A triangle is 3-sided. Minus 2 is 1 triangle in there.
Why does n equal 11?
How many sides it has? Since it's 11 gone, it's 11.
So the
Yeah, sure.
answer is just 1620?
So the final answer would be 1620. Now, in this section, please put a line like this. Hopefully you didn't spend too much space. I want to use the alternate version of the question. You will get this question on your test, so pay attention to this. What if I ask you, give me not only the sum, give me each angle in a regular, let's use hexagon in this case, okay? All right. Each angle of a regular hexagon. Does anyone remember what regular means? Regular just means both the sides and the angles equal. Not yet. So what we're going to do here is first, let's identify a hexagon. How many sides does a hexagon have? 6.
Do we need to know that?
You need to, well, how are you going to do the question if you didn't know what hexagon is? No, you need to know what a hexagon is.
Yeah, but all of them?
There's only 10. No, minus 2. There's only 8.
No, but...
Wait. Can you give us a chart to study?
Triangles, 3. What's a 4-sided one?
Quadrilateral.
Good, quad. So 4. 5 is? Pentagon. 6 is?
Hexagon.
7 is?
7 gone.
No, 7. No. Well, no. We call it heptagon. H-E-P. Heptagon. What is 8? Octagon, like octopus. Octagon. 9? Nonagon. N-O-N. Nonagon. And 10?
Decagon.
Yay, decagon. There you go. So you know. 7 was heptagon, so HEP. Okay, make sure you know those names. Now, I will not tell you on the test.
8 is octo.
Octo. Yeah, like an octopus.
What's 4?
Quadrilateral.
Quadrilateral.
Yeah. Triangle, quadrilateral, then it goes normal, pentagon, heptagon, heptagon.
We don't need to know the 2 or...
There's no way to make a two-sided shape with a straight line. Okay. All right. So I'm asking for each angle. Remember, this is recorded. Try not to say anything career ending.
Wait, what does regular mean?
Regular means all the sides and angles are equal. So with that in mind, what we're going to do is first figure out what the angles in total for a hexagon adds up to. So we're going to do what we use the equation here.
Doesn't always equal 360.
180, not for a hexagon necessarily. For a quadrilateral, like a four-sided shape, yes. But not for a hexagon. So n minus 2. Wait a second, what is n in this case? 6, because it's six-sided. So 180 times 4. 180 times 4, 360 times 2, 720. Now that's useful, but it's not my final answer. I want what each angle equals.
Wait, what is regular mean? Everything is...
All the angles and the sides are equal.
You just divide by 6.
Good, because you have 6 equal angles, you take your 720 and spread it into 6 separate places equally. So 720 divided by 6, you could do that in your head. 120. Yes, this practice test does not have it, but you're going to have a type of question like this for sure. Guaranteed. 1 or 2.
Is that it? Is that all we have to do?
This is all it is.
For that question, yes.
Nah, the one we just did was easy.
Is there another step for now you have to find the
No, because 120 is each triangle, and then or each angle, like each corner. And there's 6 corners, which makes 720. You already found the number. So 120 is your final answer. Okay.
Why do you divide
Define each individual angles. You have 6 angles in your hexagon.
Are we gonna get the formula n 180?
You'll get what's written here, which is 180 n minus 2 equals s. So there's 6 angles, right, in a hexagon, right, Julia? So then I know in total is 720. So I give each one an equal amount. How do I figure out what's the equal amount? Just divide it by how many you have. So it's 720 divided by 6. So each guy gets 120. All right. This one, number 3 and number 4. This is the reverse question. I'm telling you it adds up to 720. You need to tell me how many sides this has. This one, since we already did this, will be hexagon. Let me show you how to do the work, though, for the video particularly. So in this case, I know 720 is the total that I should have. That's how many triangles there are. So what I'm going to do is figure out how many triangles there are. So 720 divided by, how big is each triangle in terms of angle? 180. So I'm always going to divide first. 720 divided by 180, you're going to get 4 there. Now remember, that's how many triangles are in there. We want the sides. There's always 2 bonus sides. So 4 plus 2 is 6. So it's the reverse of this question, where we subtract by 2 first, then divide by, or times by 180. In this case, we divide by 180, then plus 2. Good.
6 sides.
That's 6 sides, or hexagon. Since I only said how many sides, you could write just 6. You don't have to write the name. So 1800, we're going to divide that by 180. That's going to give me 10 triangles. 10 triangles, but there's 2 additional sides. So that's going to be 12-sided shape. A dodecagon. You don't need to know that name, though. All right. Any questions on that first section? Okay, make sure you know that section. That's your free points. Those are the easy things you shouldn't mess up on, okay? Go ahead. Go on. All right, let's talk about the next one. First off, how many sides does this shape have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Now, the best way to count how many sides it has, you could count how many angles it has, because the angles of sides will always be equal. In this case, 1 angle, 2 angle, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 angles. So we know this is a 6-sided shape, or a hexagon. Doesn't look like a normal hexagon, but that's okay. Well, I should know what the hexagon adds up in total. So to add up that total, I would do 180 times how many sides does it have? We just established 6 minus 2. 180 times 4. That's how much it is in total. Yeah.
So it should add up all of them. So that's not the same.
So now what we're going to do with each one is take each number and add that up. Usually how I write it, I say 720 equals 88 plus 105 plus 142 plus 140 plus 124 plus x. 720, all that added up. Again, make sure you bring a calculator to your test. They help. $5.99. Let me just check. Yep. So that adds up to 599 plus x, just an x. Subtract 599 on both sides. $720 divided by 599 is 121 equals x. So my x equals 121. Any questions I set up there? All right. Our next one, do anyone remember what these type of angles are? No, they're outside. So we call them exterior angles. Now, with exterior angles, no matter how many sides they have, they always equal 360.
Wait, so if the angles are inside, it's 180. If they're outside, it's 360.
Wait, no matter what.
If they're inside, then you have to figure out how much they total. So like the last one, it was 720.
Yeah,
But if they're on the outside like they are here, it's always 360 instantly.
Wait, on the 4-sided shape or any shape?
Any shape
That can't be true.
on the exterior angles is always true. Again, it's one of those questions you could ask me why. I could prove it to you. You're not really that
No,
interested.
no. But wait, so what if these sides at 150 and they turn all equal?
Then every outside piece would be only 30. So that would add up to 360.
Is that the
Wait,
answer?
I don't get it.
That doesn't sound right.
That's going to be the total of it. We'll talk about how to get the X up. But exterior angles on the outside, always equal 360.
But for the one that was before, I always do the 180 minus.
Yes.
Wait, where'd you get 6 from on the other one? Just because there's 6 angles there?
Yes, 6 angles or 6 sides. No matter how you say it, it's the same thing. All right. So this always added to 360. No need to count. Doesn't matter how many sides. So I'm going to write it as 360 360 equals 93 plus 75 plus 2x plus x.
Why don't you do the thing where it's like 180, where it's like
These are the angles on the outside. When they're angles on the outside, it's automatically 360, no questions. If it was 100 sides, it'll still be 360, okay? It's always 360. You don't have to do the 180 thing because you don't need to find the angles on the inside. You find the angles on the outside. All right. So this is going to be 360. 93 plus 75 is 168. 2x plus x is 3x. So now is the algebra 1 question. We're just combining like terms. Minus 168 on both sides. You get 192 equals 3x. Divided by 3 on both sides. X equals 64. So your final answer is 64. Remember, outside angles, even put a note here. Outside always equals a total of 360. No matter how many sides there are. No matter how many sides there are. See some pencils writing? I'll keep it up here. Okay. These are parallelograms.
But like
Oh.
on the other one, you said like that is like 180, and like it only has a 180, so why did you do it that way?
I never said it add up to 180. You use an equation that involves 180, but doesn't add up to 180. It adds up to 720. 720. No.
Say that like the inside of the triangle is
Inside of a triangle is 180. Are we talking about triangles here? That's why it's different things. This is not a triangle. This is a hexagon. These are different things. If it was just a triangle, you'd be right, though. All right. Parallelograms. Parallelograms have special properties. First off, the inside of a parallelogram, you could technically do the equation, 180 n minus 2. You'll find that it's always 360 because they're always four-side shapes. But parallelograms have a special property. The angles diagonal to each other are what?
Equal.
They're equal. So this is 132. Angle H must be 132. While angles we call adjacent, they share a line between each other. What are those? Starts with an S.
opposite.
Starts with an S.
Similar.
Supplementary, not similar, supplementary. What does supplementary means?
180.
Means they add up to 180. So in this case, for G and for E,
Did you subtract that? 180?
so I would write it like this: 180 equals 132 plus, I don't know what G is, so I'll write G. Then you would subtract 132. So if you just think of it as subtract 132, that's perfectly fine.
Why would I have to do it?
This is nice. I don't know. I like it. So then it's going to be 48 equals G, which means this G is, what is it? 48. And that means this E, which is the diagonal to G, is also 48.
Wait, so
Or you could do, again, 180 minus 132. You will get the same answer of 48 anyway. Doesn't matter which way you go through it. You could have found E first and then find G. Again, doesn't matter which order you do it.
is the 5x plus 2 also 107?
Let me just make sure everyone's not writing. Okay. So the next one, these are angles diagonal to each other. Diagonal angles are equal. So 5x plus 2 equals 107. That means I'm going to subtract 2 on both sides. 5x equals 105. Now I'm going to divide 5 on both sides. X equals 21. So remember, if they're on the diagonal, you set them equal to each other. If they're on the same line or they're adjacent, you would set it equal to 180. And maybe,
What if that 107 was like in that corner?
sure, let's say if it was like up here, okay? And red will be an alternate universe where we had.
Maybe like 180 equals 5 plus 1.
Excellent. So in this case, these are supplementary. So I would write it as 180 equals. She asked what if it was up here, what would we do? So I'm going
Can
to,
you give us a question like that?
yeah, I could. Plus 107. So in this case, I would write my setup like this, which is why I write it in the previous question. I write them out, even though it's obviously to subtract. Sometimes it's better like that. So 180, I'm going to combine like terms. 5x plus 109. Nicole asked a good question. What if it was up here? What would we do? I'm going to show you what to do. This will help because I could put it on the top right also. They have been in homework questions. So you should be ready for something like that, if it happens. So minus 109, minus 109. That'd be 71 equals 5x, divided by 5, divided by 5, x equals 14.5, 14.2. Again, that's an alternate situation. Be prepared for either situation. Thank you for the question, Nicole. All right. We're going to go to the next one. Nicole, you got it? Well, the next one is about the sides. So the sides across from each other in a parallelogram are equal. So that means I could do here and here x plus 2 equals 4. Subtract 2 on both sides. X equals 2. Pretty easy. And here and here, 12 equals y minus 5 plus 5 on both sides. 17 equals y. So 17 here. Very simple. Remember, opposite sides of a parallelogram, kind of like a rectangle, kind of like a rhombus, kind of like a square, should be equal to each other.
Can you need to show your work for this stuff?
I made these very simple, but
I'm saying, like, let's say you give us something like this, I try X is 2, but then
make sure you get it right. If you get it wrong, you lose full credit. Okay?
Y. Yeah.
I mean, this was a test I gave a year ago.
But we don't have to show our work if we know.
I made me more for this level, kind of like 2-step versus 1-step.
Or should we make like 2 and like 5?
I'll probably put 2y minus 5 to mix it up, but I'll make it a 2-step question. All right, number 10 is a trapezoid. Different rules for different shapes. This is an isosceles trapezoid. Now, trapezoids have a different rule. If you're on the same floor of a trapezoid, you're congruent, aka the same. If you're on different floors, or we say different bases, you're supplementary. So in this case, is 3x and 120 on the same floor or different floors? Same floor. So 3x equals 120. Divide by 3, divide by 3. X would equal 40. So in this case, 40. What if one of them was on top, one of them was on bottom? Let's say this was.
Would it be 180 equals 3x plus 120?
So let me put 120 up here, okay? Why is this changing colors? Oh, that's a funny pen. All right. So let's say it was like here, alternate universe, right? On the top is 120. That means they're on top and bottom. They're supplementary. So I do 180 equals 3x plus 120.
What if it's in the opposite one?
You would still do the same thing. Because it's depending on the floor. So then, minus 120, that's 60 equals 3x. Divided by 3. In this case, x would be 20. Okay? Yeah.
If there was like B and D, would you still do it like 3x?
B and D like that?
Yeah.
Yes, because if this was 120, then this would have to be 120, and then you could connect them.
So when you equal it to
When they're on opposite floors, you could say. Different floors. Or different bases. Okay? All right. Next one, a kite. Kite has its own rule. Different shape, different rules. Here's the rule for a kite. The sides in between the two different sides, like the edges of the kite. This kite is upside down in this case, but that's okay. But the edges, like if you make a kite from your fingers, the inside of your fingers, whether you write it like this or like this, the inside of your fingers have the same angle. So which one matches? 88 with K or 120 with J? 88 with K. So angle K should be 88.
So does that mean that
I forgot Jack.
This is very important. In order to find the other one, this is 88 we discovered because we know about kites. This part is going to be, these are your fingers, your pointer fingers, these are your thumbs. Different fingers, different angles. No, it's not 120. What does a four-sided shape always add up to? 360. So I'm going to do 360 equals,
Wait, everything equals 360?
four-sided shapes add up to 360.
Okay, so 88 plus 88 plus 120.
Good. Plus a mystery number I don't know, so I'll say plus J in this case because that's,
Should I actually do 360 minus 88 minus 88 minus 120?
you can do it like that also. So 360, all that added together, 160, 172, 292 plus J. Subtract 292 on both sides. 296. Oh, you're right, 296.
Wait, where did you?
So 360 minus 296, 64. I have a lot of answers that are 64. I got to change that up. But this is 64. Good.
Wait, where'd you get 296?
You see it now, Gabby? Okay. You could also do 360 minus 88, then minus 88, then minus 120. You could do it piece by piece. That's also okay. All right. For this one, we're going to name the specific name for the quadrilateral. Sure. In this section, I will not have trapezoid and kite because we didn't talk in detail about identifying trapezoid kites. So the only ones you will have is parallelogram, rectangle, square, rhombus, and oh wait, that's it. Parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus, and square. So we want to give the most specific name. That means some things could be both a rhombus and a square. You want to say square. That's more particular. Okay? We're not going to use these trapezoidal kite because we didn't talk about that in detail. On this one? No. So it didn't really matter. But I want to point it out, you don't have to worry about identifying kite and trapezoid. I'm sorry. Yeah. But on your test, guaranteed, it will be either a parallelogram, rhombus, rectangle, or a square. It's not that bad. I've been to, I say that every time. I do say that every time, though.
This class is easy to test.
Yeah, it's fair. I think it's fair, and I think I prepare you very well.
Second questions on a test, literally a quiz. Yeah,
Sometimes I do that.
questions on the last test.
Wait, can you scroll?
Literally a quiz.
On the last test, the Sokotoa test?
No,
Yeah.
that was 9, 7, or 9, one of those. Yeah.
It was like 10.
No, not that. Are you complaining? I'm not complaining. I'm saying
2, 4, 6. It was like 8. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. Problem. All right. For number these, we're gonna have to figure out what is the most particular thing. If you want to put a little bit of notes, parallelogram, by definition, parallel sides. Also, the diagonals are equal and stuff like that, but that's true for all the shapes we're going to talk about. Rectangles. There were two things particular about rectangles. Anyone remember?
Yeah. Rhombus and
No. What about a rectangle? They have right angles. Not equal sides. That's true for parallelograms also. They have equal diagonals. Rhombus is kind of reverse. So in this case, they have equal sides. Parallelogram. I just shorthanded. So rhombus is a little reverse. Equal sides versus equal angles. In this case, the diagonals make a right angle. So diagonals Did anyone remember what's the word for two lines crossing each other and make a right angle?
Intersection.
That's an intersect. That's two. They could intersect anyway.
Oh,
But
perpendicular.
perpendicular is particular with how, if it's a right angle.
Didn't you remember this?
This will help you clarify the things. I will not be giving you this. I'm just giving you like a little bit of review of what they are, so you have it here, and it's on the video too, so it helps you like understand like why did I pick this. And the squares, you could kind of think of it as the all above. It has everything a rectangle has, and everything a rhombus has, and also everything a parallelogram has. All right. Let's talk about the first one, number 12. What does this triangles mean again? They're parallel. Those little dark triangles on the lines mean they're parallel. But these are right angles. For in this case, remember, parallelograms have parallel sides. All these have parallel sides. All these are parallelograms. So a rectangle has right angles. Did I indicate anywhere that all the sides are equal or that the diagonals are squares or have a right angle in them?
No.
There's no indication that the lines are equal. They don't even look equal, right? So the best thing I could say about it is a rectangle. You could, but depending on what information I give you, it's guaranteed to be a rectangle because I said it was a right angle. Let's say in a situation, I only gave you the little triangles. So no right angles here, let's say. Even though it looks like a rectangle, the best thing you could tell me is parallelogram. I need that information to prove what I'm saying. Okay? It might look like a rectangle. If you have a, do any of these have diagonals?
Wait, so what if the next one?
We'll talk about diagonals on the next page. What's up?
The next one would be a parallel.
Yeah, this is a rectangle. Yeah, I did. You did too. All right, next one. Parallelogram. Or, I'm sorry, I should have spoiled this thing. Here, they're parallel sides. I did not indicate the equal sides. I did not indicate the angles are right angles. So the best thing I could just say is a parallelogram. Okay? The best thing I could say is a parallelogram. I did not indicate anything else. This one, what did I indicate? All the what are equal? All the sides are equal. Which one has all equal sides? A rhombus. Technically a square too, but I didn't say anything about right angles. So I didn't prove it was a rectangle. So the only thing I can say about this thing is a rhombus.
But what's diagonal?
I'll show you. So let's say this was the last, I think this is the last thing the practice test, right?
Yeah.
So let me just draw it on this, okay? In this situation, if I drew a diagonal like this, right? Right, Julia? If I told you this is a right angle, that's proof that it's a rhombus, okay? So this square in the middle tells you it's a rhombus. I also, if I said, let's say I put letters here, that AC equals DB, that's diagonals being equal. What would that tell me, Julia? That they're equal, what would that tell me about what shape it is? No, it's a rectangle. I don't know if that's what you said. Maybe I misheard you, but.
Leslie, are you going to
Huh? How much time left we got in class, guys?
Right now.
All right, guys. Have a wonderful day. When's our test?
Wednesday.
Good.
That's everything on the
Wait, so I'm taking it after break, right?
Yeah,
That's
that's everything on the
Like
test.
the